I made a movie about layers recently, please watch. Very interesting. 7 layers, from 1 to 7, from fight and flight to service. Very interesting because it's the truth. And now I did the analysis. It's only a small piece about how humans and Jesus lived through these layers in a different way. Yeah? And why Jesus was so different than we humans. Because this is something which is not understood correctly, in my opinion, because I needed 10 years to understand that. I was not knowing that, even being Christian from the beginning of my birth. Human life is experienced through these layers which I mentioned. From 1, fight and flight, to stepping up, to 7, service, with no ego. Not layers of reality, but layers of perception, of filtering what we see in this world and how we filter the surroundings. Listen, at the lowest level, we live from survival. At the highest level, from identity, meaning, and service. Once again. So, most humans move up and down through these layers unconsciously. So, the one day we fear something, flight and fight, then boom, 2 hours later we are drinking with our friends and we have fun. And then we need to serve our children because something is happening to them, and we serve them unconditionally with no guarantee we'll receive something back. 3 layers through one, for example, day. We shift through them all the time. But Jesus lived in a different way. For most of us humans, fear enters early, from childhood. Even if we are in a wound of our mother, the mother's nervous system, fear, which she can represent, pass over the fear to the nervous system of the child. So after giving the birth, the child is already affected with that stress factor, with that stress. Identity forms before awareness. Ego becomes protection of our lives. All of us have egos only to protect our bodies in this physical life. We do not choose this. It's unconditional. You get birth, you pop out, you are on this world, and you feel suddenly this, what you passed, what you received from your mother's wound, to the start of your life, and you pass on. So we live inside layers, defending identity, we are seeking validation, we avoid losses at all cost. We are oscillating between control and surrender. We are all the time between control and surrender. We control husband and wife, even when we touch. Every day, prayer, silence, love, meditation. We fail, we fall back. Because at last you can meditate 1 hour before you go to work. And from this beautiful, blessed time, you enter fight and flight mode in the work environment. So it changes all the time. And not because we as humans are weak, but because biology pulls us back to survival at all times. Jesus, however, did not live inside the layers. He stood beyond identification with them. He could speak to ego without being ego. He entered suffering without becoming fear. He served without identity. He remained present all the time without resistance. This is something which the human can do only while being at all times conscious about it. And even though sometimes the human collapses, Jesus was not that. He never collapsed. He always had pure love for people. He moved through layers, not from them. He moved through them. not from one to one, because he knew exactly in a conscious way how to create the shift. And that is the key difference. So why this matters? Jesus didn't climb consciousness as we humans try to do. He operated from unity and adjusted expressions to meet others. This is the true importance and the key difference. That's why he spoke in parables. He met people where they were and not introduced them to his beautiful mountain in his castle with audiences. No, he stepped back to them and he was searching for them in places where they have been living. He never demanded people rise to his level. He always went down to levels of these people he met. Yeah? Truth flowed downward, not upward. Downward. Yeah? And the core distinction here is that humans awaken by removing filters. Yeah? We remove filters gradually. Jesus lived without being governed by them. He didn't have any filters. He saw the truth from beginning to the end in such a way that no filters were needed. That's why he appears singular. Yeah? Not because others are excluded, no. But because few live without internal division. Few of us live that way. Jesus was not special because he escaped humanity. He was special because nothing in him blocked the truth. No filter, no ego blocked the truth of the reality, which we as human beings having filters block at all times. That is the difference. The true difference. That is the difference between visiting the mountain and living from its summit. Yeah? You can be at the mountain on the top and look at people from down and judge them, or you can go down from the mountain and be with them, not judging them by filters, but helping them to rise their consciousness level. Yeah? Deleting filters and ego. This was Habit Code. I wish you a blessed day. Enjoy it. A couple of new movies will come with that topic. It is very interesting for me. I needed years to understand Christ as a figure. I had issues with understanding the godness and human nature of his in one. The church couldn't help me. Now I did my own investigation and these movies will follow. Amen.